The 5 a.m. Habit, How Successful People Start Their Day, written by Peter A. Saul and published by Audiobooks LOA. Imagine this. While the world sleeps, you're already ahead. Planning, executing, transforming. The streets are silent, the air is crisp, and there's a rare kind of stillness in the early morning that feels like a secret only the successful have unlocked. It's in these early hours that empires are built, ideas are born, and lives are changed. The question is, are you ready to join the revolution? We live in a world that tells us that success is complicated, that you need the perfect strategy, the perfect timing, the perfect connections. But what if the real secret isn't about perfection at all? What if everything you want, more time, more focus, more success, is hidden in the simplest shift you can make, the moment your alarm goes off at 5 a.m.? Waking up at 5 a.m. isn't just about getting up early. It's about choosing discipline over comfort, growth over stagnation, and victory over mediocrity. If you're skeptical, I get it. You've heard it before. Waking up early is overrated. I'm just not a morning person. I work better at night. But here's the truth, most people won't tell you. Your habits are either making you unstoppable or keeping you stuck. The most successful people in the world, CEOs, athletes, billionaires, top performers, don't wake up early because they have to. They wake up early because they can't afford not to. This audiobook reveals the hidden power of the 5 a.m. habit, showing you how to unlock unstoppable focus, energy, and momentum. Why waking up early changes everything. Think about the most productive people you admire. Do you really think they're rolling out of bed at noon, scrambling through their day, reacting instead of executing? No, they are ahead of the game before the rest of the world even wakes up. Waking up at 5 a.m. is not just about getting up early. It's about taking control of your life before the day takes control of you. Science backs this up. Studies show that early risers have higher levels of willpower, are more proactive, and make better decisions. When you wake up at 5 a.m., you tap into the power of undistracted deep work, allowing you to focus on your biggest goals before distractions, notifications, and obligations hijack your energy. You're no longer playing defense against your schedule. You're strategically attacking your goals with laser-sharp focus. And let's be real, most people waste their mornings. They hit snooze 5 times, scroll social media, and drag themselves into the day with no clear direction. But you're different. You're here because you want more. More time, more success, more control over your life. How this audiobook will guide you. This isn't just another book about waking up early. This is your blueprint for mastering the 5 a.m. habit and using it as a weapon for unstoppable success. Inside, you'll discover the psychology of why waking up early rewires your brain for success and why night owls can absolutely become morning champions. A battle-tested, step-by-step plan to make 5 a.m. effortless, even if you hate mornings right now. Wake up early tips. The secret morning routines of the world's highest achievers and how to customize one that makes you unbreakable. Successful morning routines, morning rituals. How to use the first 60 minutes of your day to 10x your productivity, focus, and energy. Morning routine for success, early morning productivity. The hidden power of momentum stacking and how small wins at 5 a.m. create massive success in every area of your life. Success habits, life transformation. The critical role of sleep science, self-discipline, and mindset in making the 5 a.m. habit sustainable. Healthy habits, growth mindset. But here's the catch. Just reading this audiobook won't change your life. Taking action will. If you commit, if you apply these principles, you will wake up a month from now as a completely different person, stronger, sharper, and more in control than ever before. Common myths about early rising and why they're wrong. Let's bust some of the biggest lies about waking up early. I'm just not a morning person. Truth, being a morning person is not genetic, it's a learned habit. Your body and brain can adapt faster than you think. I get my best work done at night. Truth, you might think so, but studies show willpower and cognitive function decline as the day progresses. Mornings are when your mind is at its sharpest, peak performance. I need 8 hours of sleep, so I can't wake up early. Truth, waking up early isn't about sacrificing sleep, it's about sleeping smarter. When you optimize your sleep schedule, 6 to 7 quality hours can be more powerful than 8+ hours of fragmented rest, healthy habits. I've tried before, but I always fall back into old habits. Truth, you didn't fail, you just didn't have the right system. This audiobook will teach you the foolproof strategies to make early rising effortless, self-discipline, habit building. This isn't just a book, it's a wake-up call, literally. The decision you make today could change the trajectory of your entire life. You can keep hitting snooze, repeating the same cycle, and wondering why success feels out of reach. Or you can rise up, take control, rewrite your story, and become the unstoppable force you were meant to be. The revolution starts now. The only question is, are you in? Audiobook Motivational. Chapter 1. Why 5 a.m.? The hidden edge of starting before dawn. The alarm rings at precisely 5 a.m. For the uninitiated, it's a jarring intrusion, a cruel demand to abandon the warmth and comfort of slumber. But for those who understand its power, it's a signal, the start of a strategic advantage, a head start on the world, and the beginning of the 5 a.m. habit. This isn't some arbitrary time chosen for the sake of suffering. It's a deliberate choice to claim the most potent hours of the day, granting an undeniable edge in productivity, focus, and overall life trajectory. Why 5 a.m. specifically? While any early hour offers benefits, 5 a.m. often represents a sweet spot. It's late enough that rising feels achievable with a reasonable bedtime, yet early enough to escape the digital noise and social demands that begin to pick up closer to typical working hours. The world outside is silent. Notifications haven't started flooding in. The mental space is uncluttered, pristine, and ready for intentional use. This rare state of undistracted calm is arguably the most valuable resource available to anyone seeking to build significant success. Early morning productivity. Consider the alternative. Most people wake up just in time to rush through their morning, immediately reacting to the demands of others. Their first moments are dictated by incoming emails, urgent messages, or the sheer panic of running late. Their energy is immediately depleted by chaos and stress. The early riser, however, claims these precious hours for themselves. They decide what enters their mind, what tasks receive their attention, and what tone the day will take. This proactive approach sets a stark contrast against the reactive norm. This isn't just about getting more done, though that is a significant benefit. It's about the quality of what gets done. The early morning brain is uniquely suited for high-level cognitive function. Free from the fatigue of the day's decisions and distractions, the prefrontal cortex, the seat of executive function, planning, and decision-making, is at its peak. This is the golden window for deep work, strategic thinking, creative problem-solving, and high-impact tasks that move the needle forward in life and career. Attempting these same tasks later in the day, amidst interruptions and mental fatigue, yields diminished results, peak performance. Furthermore, waking up at 5 a.m. cultivates a powerful sense of self-discipline. The act of choosing a difficult action over an easy one, rising versus snoozing, strengthens the willpower muscle. Each morning, you make a deliberate declaration of control over your impulses. This small victory builds confidence and reinforces the belief that you are capable of mastering yourself and your circumstances. This newfound discipline doesn't stay confined to the morning. It spills into other areas of life, from sticking to exercise routines to managing finances and pursuing ambitious goals. Self-discipline, success habits. The morning motivation that stems from early rising is unlike any other. As the rest of the world sleeps, you are actively investing in yourself. This quiet, solitary effort creates a powerful psychological boost. You feel a sense of accomplishment before many people have even opened their eyes. This feeling of being ahead, of intentionally shaping your day, fuels positive momentum that carries you through challenges and keeps you driven towards your objectives. In essence, waking up early at 5 a.m. is a strategic advantage. It's a commitment to harnessing the best hours of the day for personal growth and high-impact work. It's a developer of discipline, a source of profound focus, and a catalyst for momentum that propels you towards the life you envision. The choice is clear. Drift through the day, reacting to demands, or claim the dawn and build the life you want, one disciplined, purposeful morning at a time. Chapter 2. The Science of the Circadian Rhythm, Aligning Your Body Clock. To truly master the 5 a.m. habit, we must first understand the intricate biological dance that governs our sleep and wakefulness, the circadian rhythm. Far from being simply about willpower, consistently rising early and feeling energized is deeply rooted in our internal biological clock, a sophisticated 24-hour cycle that regulates nearly every physiological process, from hormone release and body temperature to digestive function and, crucially, our sleep-wake patterns, healthy habits. This master clock resides in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, of the brain, a tiny cluster of cells located in the hypothalamus. The SCN is exquisitely sensitive to light and darkness, acting like a conductor, synchronizing the body's rhythms with the external environment. Exposure to natural sunlight, particularly in the morning, signals to the SCN that it's daytime, promoting wakefulness and suppressing the sleep-inducing hormone melatonin. Conversely, the absence of light in the evening signals that it's time to wind down, allowing melatonin levels to rise and prepare the body for sleep. The reason many people struggle with waking up early or feel groggy even after ample sleep is often due to a misaligned circadian rhythm. Modern life, with its artificial lighting, late-night screen use, emitting blue light that powerfully suppresses melatonin, shift work, and erratic sleep schedules, like sleeping in drastically on weekends, constantly throws this delicate system out of balance. This chronic misalignment is known as social jet lag and can have detrimental effects on mood, cognitive function, and overall health, making the prospect of a 5 a.m. wake-up feel like a cruel impossibility. However, the good news is that the circadian rhythm is adaptable. By intentionally exposing ourselves to light and darkness cues at the right times, we can train our internal clock to align with an earlier schedule. Waking up at 5 a.m. consistently, combined with morning light exposure, even just a few minutes, near a window or stepping outside, reinforces this early wake signal. Equally important is managing evening light exposure. Dimming lights, avoiding screens, and creating a dark bedroom environment promotes healthy melatonin production, making it easier to fall asleep at a reasonable hour necessary for a 5 a.m. rise. e.g. 9 p.m., 10 p.m. for 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Beyond sleep-wake cycles, the circadian rhythm also influences hormone production vital for morning energy. Cortisol, often called the stress hormone, naturally peaks shortly after waking, providing a surge of alertness and motivation. This cortisol awakening response, CAR, is strongest and most effective when it aligns with a consistent, naturalistic wake-up time. Erratic schedules can blunt the CAR, contributing to morning grogginess, By rising at 5 a.m. consistently, you train your body to release cortisol efficiently at this time, supporting that initial burst of energy needed to start your morning routine. Early riser benefits. Understanding and respecting your body's biological clock is fundamental to making the 5 a.m. habit sustainable. It's not about fighting your biology, it's about working with it. By optimizing light exposure, maintaining consistent sleep times, even on weekends discussed in a later chapter, and creating a sleep-supportive environment, you naturally shift your body's internal rhythm to make early waking feel less like a battle and more like a natural, effortless transition. This alignment is a cornerstone of peak performance and a key scientific principle behind successful early rising. Chapter 3. Neuroplasticity and Rewiring Your Brain for Early Rising. The human brain is an astonishingly dynamic organ. Contrary to older beliefs that the brain becomes fixed after childhood, modern neuroscience has revealed its remarkable capacity for change and adaptation throughout life, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. This inherent flexibility is the scientific backbone that makes developing new habits, including the 5 a.m. habit, not just possible, but fundamentally programmable into your biology. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on your experiences, thoughts, and actions. When you first start trying to wake up at 5 a.m., it feels hard because your brain's established neural pathways are wired for your old routine, perhaps hitting snooze, waking up later, or staying up late. These pathways are like well-worn paths through a forest. They're easy to follow because they've been used repeatedly. The new path, the one that involves getting out of bed at 5 a.m., is overgrown and difficult to navigate initially. It requires conscious effort and willpower. However, every single time you successfully wake up at 5 a.m. and engage in your morning routine, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with this new behavior. You're like a pioneer hacking a new trail through that forest. The first few times are challenging, requiring significant effort. But with each repetition, the trail becomes clearer, easier to follow. New neurons form connections. Existing connections are reinforced, and the signal transmission between relevant brain areas becomes more efficient. This process is the essence of habit formation. As the 5 a.m. habit pathway strengthens through consistent repetition, the behavior moves from requiring conscious, effortful decision-making, relying on the prefrontal cortex, to becoming more automatic, driven by deeper, less conscious brain regions, like the basal ganglia. This is why, eventually, waking up early starts to feel less like a struggle and more like second nature. You just do it, without having to debate with yourself or expend massive amounts of willpower each morning. Your brain has been rewired to make the 5 a.m. wake-up the default. Neuroplasticity also explains why simply thinking about waking up early isn't enough. The brain rewires based on action and experience. You must physically engage in the behavior. Getting out of bed, starting your routine for the neural pathways to strengthen. Each successful morning acts as a powerful reinforcement signal to your brain. This is the new pattern. Make it easier next time. Furthermore, the mindset you adopt during this process significantly impacts neuroplasticity. Embracing a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities and habits can be developed through dedication and hard work, makes your brain more receptive to change. If you believe you can become an early riser, your brain is more primed to build the necessary neural connections than if you believe, I'm just not a morning person. A fixed mindset, positive self-talk, visualization of successful mornings, and celebrating small wins all contribute to this positive rewiring process. In essence, mastering the 5 a.m. habit is a direct application of neuroplasticity. You are intentionally programming your brain for a new pattern of behavior. It requires consistent, deliberate action, especially in the beginning, but the payoff is immense. A brain that is wired for early rising, making productivity, discipline, and intentional living feel increasingly effortless over time. This fundamental understanding empowers you to view the initial difficulty not as a sign of failure, but as the necessary work of forging powerful new pathways in your brain, paving the way for life transformation. Chapter 4. The Psychology of Habit Formation, the Essential Habit Loop. At the heart of successful behavior change and the development of the 5 a.m. habit lies a fundamental psychological model, the habit loop. Understanding this simple yet powerful framework is critical because it demystifies why certain actions become automatic and provides a blueprint for intentionally building the habits that lead to success. Psychologists and neuroscientists agree that nearly all human behavior, from the simple act of brushing your teeth to complex daily routines, operates through this repeating three-step cycle: cue, routine, and reward. The cue. This is the trigger that signals your brain to initiate a particular habit. Cues can be anything: a specific time of day, like 5 a.m., a location, entering the kitchen, a preceding action, finishing dinner, an emotional state, feeling stressed or bored, or even the presence of certain people. For the 5 a.m. habit, the primary cue is the alarm clock ringing at 5 a.m. Other reinforcing cues might include darkness outside, the quiet of the house, or the pre-prepared items for your morning routine visible the night before. The key is that the brain learns to associate this cue with a specific sequence of actions. The routine. This is the behavior itself, the action you perform after the cue. In the context of our goal, the routine is the sequence of actions that follow the alarm at 5 a.m. Getting out of bed, going to the bathroom, drinking water, starting your exercise, meditation, or planning. At first, this routine requires conscious effort and decision-making. It feels like you're actively doing the habit. But as the habit loop strengthens, the routine becomes increasingly automatic, almost like you're operating on autopilot. The reward. This is the positive reinforcement that tells your brain the habit loop is worth remembering and repeating in the future. The reward is the reason the habit exists. It satisfies a need or desire. For the 5 a.m. habit, the initial reward might be subtle: the feeling of accomplishment from getting out of bed, the peace of the quiet morning, the energy boost from a quick workout, the mental clarity from planning, or even a simple cup of coffee enjoyed in solitude. Over time, the rewards deepen and become more powerful: increased productivity throughout the day, reduced stress, a stronger sense of control, progress towards important goals, and the reinforcement of a disciplined identity. The brain links the cue and the routine to this reward, creating a craving that drives the loop. The power of the habit loop lies in its ability to make behaviors automatic. When the brain reliably predicts a reward following a specific routine, triggered by a cue, it creates a neurological craving. This craving isn't necessarily for the routine itself, but for the feeling of the reward. For example, the craving isn't for scrolling social media, but for the hit of dopamine from novelty. The craving for the 5 a.m. habit isn't just for being awake, but for the sense of peace, productivity, and control it brings. Morning motivation. To successfully build the 5 a.m. habit, you must consciously design and strengthen this loop. Establish a clear cue. Set your alarm for 5 a.m. every single day. Place it strategically away from the bed. Consider using light-based alarms. Be consistent with the cue. Design an easy routine. Initially, make the first few actions after waking up as simple and friction-free as possible. Put slippers next to the bed, lay out clothes, have water ready. The goal is to get moving before the brain can fully engage in negotiation. Ensure a meaningful reward. Immediately follow the routine with something genuinely rewarding. This could be a hot shower, a specific type of coffee or tea, a few minutes of engaging reading, or the immediate satisfaction of starting a valued task. Make the reward immediate and enjoyable to reinforce the connection. Breaking the old habit of snoozing or sleeping in follows a similar pattern. Identify the cue, alarm, identify the old routine, hitting snooze, rolling over, and identify the old reward, temporary comfort, avoiding perceived discomfort. To change, keep the cue, alarm at 5 a.m., but change the routine, get out of bed immediately, and replace the old reward with the new, more valuable rewards of the 5 a.m. habit. Control, peace, productivity. Mastering. The habit loop is mastering. Self-discipline. It transforms the struggle from a constant battle of willpower into the automatic execution of a programmed sequence. By intentionally designing your mornings around a powerful cue routine reward loop, you make the 5 a.m. habit not just possible, but the most natural and fulfilling way to start your day, paving the way for incredible personal development and success. Chapter 5. Overcoming Resistance. The inevitable battle against comfort and excuses. The moment the alarm rings at 5 a.m., a subtle, often insidious force begins to push back. This force is resistance, the internal voice whispering doubts, conjuring excuses, and lobbying relentlessly for the easy path, the path of comfort, inertia, and sleep. Overcoming this resistance is not just a necessary step in adopting the 5 a.m. habit. It is the core psychological battle that every early riser must win day after day, especially in the beginning. Understanding where this resistance comes from and having strategies to counter it is paramount to lasting success. Resistance stems from deep-seated biological and psychological drives. Our brains are hardwired for efficiency and survival, which often translates to preferring familiar routines and avoiding perceived discomfort or unnecessary energy expenditure. Waking up at 5 a.m., especially when your body clock is accustomed to later hours, feels uncomfortable and requires effort. The brain interprets this as something to be avoided, triggering a cascade of thoughts designed to keep you in bed. You didn't sleep well enough. It's too cold. You can start tomorrow. What difference does 5 minutes make? These are not rational truths. They are the mind's defense mechanisms against change. The snooze button is the physical manifestation of this resistance. Each time you hit snooze, you reinforce the neural pathway associated with delaying discomfort. You teach your brain that the alarm signal is a cue, and the appropriate routine is delay. To break this cycle, you must eliminate the opportunity for negotiation. The decision to get out of bed must be made before the alarm rings, leaving no room for the groggy, resistant mind to argue. A powerful strategy to defeat the snooze button and initial resistance is the feet on the floor rule. The moment the alarm sounds, no matter how tired you feel, the rule is non-negotiable. Your feet must hit the floor within 5 seconds. This simple physical action disrupts the mental inertia and initiates movement before the resistance can fully mobilize its arguments. Placing the alarm clock across the room forces this action even more effectively. Wake up early tips. Another critical tactic involves pre-commitment and reducing friction. Resistance thrives on complexity and decision fatigue. The less you have to think about or do immediately upon waking, the easier it is to bypass resistance. Prepare everything the night before. Lay out your clothes, set up your coffee maker, have your water bottle ready, place your journal or book in an accessible spot. These small preparations eliminate excuses and make the desired routine effortless to start. Furthermore, changing your internal dialogue is crucial. Resistance is often fueled by negative self-talk and focusing on the perceived sacrifice. I'm losing sleep. This is painful. Reframe the experience by focusing on the benefits and the identity you are building. I am an early riser. I am gaining control. I am building momentum. Associate waking up early with the positive rewards. The peace, the focus, the accomplishment, rather than the temporary discomfort. This positive morning motivation counteracts the negativity of resistance. The initial period of adopting the 5 a.m. habit will likely involve the most intense resistance. This is when your old habits are fighting back against the new pattern. Expect it. Don't be discouraged by it. View resistance not as a sign that you should give up, but as a sign that you are making progress and challenging deeply ingrained patterns. The more consistently you push through the initial discomfort, the weaker the resistance becomes, and the stronger your self-discipline and new habit pathways become. Finally, remember that consistency, not perfection, is the goal. There will be days when resistance wins, when you oversleep. Don't let one setback become a reason to abandon the habit entirely. Acknowledge it, learn from it. Why did it happen? And recommit to starting again the very next day. Resilience, in the face of occasional failure, is a key component of overcoming long-term resistance. By facing and moving through the inevitable resistance, you build mental toughness and solidify the 5 a.m. habit as an unshakable part of your routine. Chapter 6. Designing your 5 a.m. Morning routine, the power hour unleashed. The magic of the 5 a.m. habit isn't just in the time itself, but in how that time is intentionally used. Waking up early provides a golden opportunity, typically the first 60 to 90 minutes. That is uniquely quiet, distraction-free, and prime for high-leverage activities. This period, often referred to as the power hour, is where the true transformation begins. Designing a morning routine that optimizes this time is crucial for unlocking the full potential of early rising. This isn't about rigidly following someone else's plan, but creating a sequence of actions aligned with your goals for productivity, personal development, and well-being. A successful morning routine at 5 a.m. should not be a frantic rush to start working immediately. Instead, it should be a deliberate sequence designed to prime your mind and body for peak performance throughout the day. Think of it as your personal launch sequence, preparing you mentally, physically, and strategically before the external demands begin. While the specific components will vary based on individual priorities, a highly effective morning routine for success often includes elements that address hydration, physical activation, mental clarity, and strategic planning. Here are essential pillars to consider when building your own 5 a.m. ritual. Morning rituals. Immediate hydration, approx. 5 to 10 minutes. Your body is dehydrated after sleep. The very first action upon waking, after getting out of bed, should be to drink a full glass, 16 to 20 oz, of water. This rehydrates the system, jumpstarts metabolism, and improves cognitive function. Adding a squeeze of lemon or electrolytes can further enhance this. This simple step helps clear morning grogginess and prepares the body for activity. Physical activation, approx. 15 to 30 minutes. Engaging in some form of movement signals to your body and brain that it's time to wake up. This could be light stretching, yoga, a short walk, ideally outdoors for light exposure, or a more vigorous workout. Movement increases blood flow, releases endorphins, boosting mood, and reduces sleep inertia. It doesn't need to be an intense gym session every day. Consistency and getting the body moving are key. Healthy habits. Mindfulness or mental priming, approx. 10 to 15 minutes. Use the quiet to center your mind before the day's noise begins. This could involve meditation, even just 5 minutes, deep breathing exercises, or practicing gratitude, listing things you're thankful for. These practices reduce stress, improve focus, and set a positive mental tone for the day. Journaling is another powerful option here, allowing you to clear your thoughts or write down intentions. Strategic planning or goal setting, approx. 10 to 15 minutes. Before diving into tasks, take a few minutes to review your top priorities in for the day and connect them to your larger goals. What are the 1 to 3 most important tasks, MITs, you need to accomplish today? Writing these down provides clarity and ensures you direct your energy towards what truly matters. Goal setting, time, management. This is not busy work. It's essential strategic focus. Learning or personal growth, approx. 10-20 minutes. The early morning is prime time for intellectual development. Dedicate time to reading a non-fiction book, listening to an educational podcast or audiobook, or learning a new skill. This consistent input compounds over time, contributing significantly to your long-term self-improvement and knowledge base. When designing your routine, remember, keep it simple. Initially, don't try to fit everything in on day one. Start with 1-2 core activities and gradually add more as the habit solidifies. Make it enjoyable. Include activities you genuinely look forward to. This acts as a powerful intrinsic reward, strengthening the habit loop. Protect it fiercely. Treat your 5 a.m. time as non-negotiable. Avoid checking emails or social media during this period. That's reactive, shallow work. This time is sacred for your growth and priorities. Morning habits of successful people. By intentionally structuring your first hour or so at 5 a.m., you transform it from just getting up early into a powerful engine for productivity, clarity, and personal growth. This carefully crafted 5 a.m. routine becomes the anchor of your day, creating momentum that carries you forward long after the sun has risen and the world has woken up. Chapter 7. Hydration, Movement and Light, the trifecta of morning activation. Emerging from sleep is a transition. Your body has been in a state of relative dormancy, and the switch to wakefulness requires conscious signals to optimize the process. While the previous chapter outlined the pillars of a great 5 a.m. routine, let's delve deeper into the non-negotiable physical actions that provide the foundational morning motivation and energy: immediate hydration, activating movement, and strategic light exposure. These 3 elements form a potent trifecta for priming your mind and body for peak performance from the moment you rise. Immediate hydration. Recharging the system. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated. This isn't just about feeling thirsty. Even mild dehydration can lead to fatigue, headaches, reduced cognitive function, and decreased metabolism. Simply put, you can't operate at your best when you're running on low water levels. The very first action after getting out of bed should be to drink a substantial amount of water, ideally 16 to 20 ounces, around 500-600 milliliters. Have a glass or bottle ready on your nightstand or kitchen counter. This immediate hydration rehydrates cells, replenishes water lost overnight through breathing and sweating, jumpstarts metabolism, signals the body that the day has begun, and encourages metabolic processes, flushes toxins, aids the body's natural detoxification processes, improves mental clarity. Dehydrated brain tissue functions less effectively. Rehydration supports sharper thinking and focus. Make this non-negotiable. Before coffee, before anything else, hydrate. It's the simplest, most immediate energy booster available at 5 a.m. movement, waking up the body's engine. Sedentary sleep leaves muscles stiff and circulation slower. Engaging in physical activity shortly after waking is crucial for shaking off sleep inertia, increasing blood flow, and signaling to the brain that it's time to be alert. This doesn't mean you need a full, intense workout every morning at 5 a.m., though many find this highly beneficial. Even 5 to 15 minutes of gentle movement can be profoundly effective. Consider activities like stretching or yoga. Loosens muscles, improves flexibility, and increases circulation. Walking. A brisk walk, especially outdoors, combines movement with light exposure. Bodyweight exercises, push-ups, squats, planks, quick ways to activate major muscle groups. Movement releases endorphins, natural mood elevators, and helps regulate cortisol patterns to promote alertness rather than stress. The goal is to transition from stillness to gentle or moderate activity, preparing your body for the physical and mental demands of the day. This healthy habit is a cornerstone of a high-energy morning. Light exposure, resetting the internal clock. Light is the most powerful external cue for regulating your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock, as discussed in Chapter 2. Exposure to bright light, especially natural sunlight, in the early morning suppresses melatonin production and signals to your brain that it's daytime, promoting alertness. To leverage this at 5 a.m., get outside. Immediately, if possible, step outside for 5 to 10 minutes as soon as you're up, especially on sunny days. Even on cloudy days, outdoor light is significantly brighter than indoor light. Go near a bright window. If going outside isn't feasible or safe at 5 a.m., sit near a window with bright natural light or turn on very bright indoor lights, ideally full spectrum or designed to mimic sunlight. Consider a light therapy lamp. Especially useful during dark winter months, a dedicated SAD lamp can provide the necessary bright light exposure indoors. Avoid dim, warm lighting initially. This is the type of light that encourages relaxation. Seek out bright, cool light to signal wakefulness. This conscious management of light exposure is a simple yet incredibly effective way to align your biology with your desired wake-up time, reducing grogginess and enhancing your natural energy levels throughout the morning and day. By making immediate hydration, activating movement, and strategic light exposure non-negotiable parts of your very first 5 a.m. routine steps, you create a powerful biological foundation for a successful day. These actions are quick, require minimal decision-making if prepared, and provide immediate tangible benefits, making the 5 a.m. habit feel energizing and sustainable rather than draining. They are fundamental morning rituals for anyone seeking peak performance. Chapter 8. Mindful Mornings. Cultivating inner peace and clarity before the rush. In the quiet sanctity of the 5 a.m. hour, before the demands of the world encroach, lies a profound opportunity, not just for external productivity, but for internal cultivation. Integrating mindfulness and mental priming techniques into your morning routine is essential for setting a positive mental state, enhancing focus, reducing stress, and fostering personal development. While movement and hydration activate the body, these practices center and prepare the mind, ensuring that your early start is not just productive, but also peaceful and purposeful. The mind in the early morning is often less cluttered than later in the day. It hasn't yet absorbed the worries, notifications, and external stimuli that create mental noise. This makes it an ideal time to intentionally direct your thoughts and emotional state. Skipping this step can lead to the mind quickly filling with anxiety about the day's tasks, distractions, or negative self-talk, undermining the benefits of waking up early. Key practices for a mindful 5 a.m. include meditation. Even a few minutes of quiet meditation can profoundly impact your day. Find a comfortable seated position, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. When your mind wanders, which it will, gently guide it back to the breath. Meditation helps train your attention, improves emotional regulation, reduces reactivity to stress, and cultivates a sense of calm. Apps like Calm or Headspace can guide beginners, but simply sitting in silence and observing your thoughts without judgment is powerful. Mindset, morning rituals. Deep breathing exercises. Similar to meditation, focused breathing techniques can quickly shift your physiological and mental state. Practices like diaphragmatic breathing, breathing deeply into your belly, box breathing, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, or the 4, 7 to 8 method, inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Activate the parasympathetic nervous system, counteracting stress and inducing relaxation and clarity. Just a few minutes can dramatically improve your state. Gratitude practice. Intentionally focusing on things you are grateful for shifts your mindset towards positivity, abundance, and resilience. This can be done through silent reflection, or more powerfully, by writing down 3 to 5 things you are sincerely grateful for in a journal. These can be simple things, a warm bed, a cup of coffee, or larger aspects of your life, health, relationships, opportunities. Cultivating gratitude reduces feelings of lack or stress and primes the brain for a positive outlook. Journaling, free writing, structured prompts, or simply writing down your thoughts can be incredibly therapeutic and clarifying. Morning journaling can help you process emotions, identify limiting beliefs, brainstorm ideas, or gain perspective on challenges. It's a way to empty your mental inbox before the day begins, creating space for focused thinking. Different types of journaling suit different purposes. Experiment to find what resonates with you. Self-improvement. Mindful reading. Instead of passively consuming content, dedicate a portion of your morning to reading something inspiring, educational, or philosophical. Engage with the text actively, reflecting on its meaning and how it applies to your life. This intentional input fuels positive thought patterns and expands your perspective, setting an intellectual and reflective tone for the day. Incorporating these practices into your 5 a.m. routine isn't about adding more tasks. It's about investing in your inner state. It's recognizing that peak performance stems not just from external action, but from internal balance and clarity. These mindful moments act as an anchor, grounding you before the day's storms begin. They provide a sacred space for connection with yourself, allowing you to start your day feeling centered, calm, and in control, rather than immediately overwhelmed by the demands of the outside world. A mindful morning is a powerful act of self-discipline and a foundational step toward a more fulfilling and impactful life. Chapter 9. Goal Setting and Strategic Planning. Before Dawn. Charting your day for success. One of the most valuable benefits of reclaiming the 5 a.m. hour is the unparalleled opportunity it provides for strategic thinking and goal setting. While the rest of the world is still asleep, your mind is often at its sharpest, free from the noise and urgency that clutter later hours. This quiet window is the ideal time to intentionally chart the course for your day, week, or even long-term vision. Engaging in deliberate planning before the chaos begins is a hallmark of successful morning routines and a critical differentiator for high achievers. Many people drift through their days reacting to whatever comes their way, responding to emails, attending unscheduled meetings, tackling urgent but not important tasks. This reactive mode feels busy, but it rarely leads to significant progress on meaningful goals. The 5 a.m. habit provides the antidote, a dedicated time to be proactive, to define your priorities, and to ensure your actions align with your deepest aspirations. Time management. Your 5 a.m. planning session doesn't need to be overly complicated, but it should be consistent and focused. Here are key elements to include. Review your larger vision, not your goals. Briefly reconnect with your overarching goals, perhaps for the year, month, or a specific project. Why are you waking up at 5 a.m.? What is the bigger picture you are working towards? This provides context and purpose for your daily actions, fueling your morning motivation. Identify your most important tasks, MITs, for the day. What are the 1 to 3 tasks that, if completed, would make today a success? These should be tasks that move you closer to your significant goals, not just busy work. Focus on high-impact activities that require deep work, creativity, or strategic thinking. Write these down clearly. Block time for MITs. Look at your schedule and deliberately block out time slots specifically for tackling your MITs. Treat these blocks as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. This prevents these crucial tasks from being squeezed out by less important interruptions later in the day. Productivity tips. Early morning productivity. Plan your morning power. Our activities outline the specific sequence of actions you will take in your 5 a.m. routine to ensure you utilize this prime time effectively, ideally starting with one of your MITs or a deep work task. Anticipate challenges, optional but recommended. Think about potential roadblocks for the day and briefly consider how you might navigate them. This proactive problem solving can reduce stress and improve resilience. Visualize success. Spend a few moments vividly imagining yourself successfully completing your MITs and experiencing the positive outcomes. See yourself focused, energetic, and productive. This mental rehearsal primes your brain for success mindset. Using a dedicated planner, journal, or digital tool specifically for this morning session can create a powerful ritual. The act of writing down your goals and plans in the quiet of dawn embeds them more deeply in your mind. By engaging in this strategic planning at 5 a.m., you transform your day from a series of reactions into a deliberate pursuit of your most important objectives. You eliminate decision fatigue because you've already determined your priorities. You increase your focus because you know exactly where your energy needs to go. You build momentum by starting your day with purpose and clarity. This morning planning session is not just about creating a to-do list. It's about aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. It's about intentionality. It's about making conscious choices about how you will spend your most valuable resource, your time and energy. Waking up at 5 a.m. provides the perfect stage for this critical process, empowering you to become the architect of your day and ultimately the designer of your desired future, self-improvement, life transformation. Chapter 10. The Problem with Distraction. Navigating the Age of Infinite Interruptions. In the 21st century, our greatest challenge isn't often a lack of opportunity or even a lack of motivation. It's the relentless, pervasive nature of distraction. From the moment we wake up, our attention is under siege by a barrage of notifications, alerts, emails, social media updates, and the constant availability of infinite digital stimuli. This environment of constant interruption is fundamentally antithetical to productivity, creativity, and the ability to engage in meaningful, high-leverage work. Understanding the detrimental impact of distraction is the first step in building the focus required to fully leverage the 5 a.m. habit. Think about a typical day. How often do you go more than a few minutes without checking your phone, glancing at an email notification, or getting pulled into an unrelated task? This constant task switching might feel like you're being productive because you're always doing something, but it's a dangerous illusion. Each time you switch your attention from one task to another, especially from a complex task to a simple one, like checking social media, your brain doesn't instantly catch up. A phenomenon called attention residue occurs, where a portion of your mental focus remains on the previous task, making it harder to fully immerse yourself in the new one. Research suggests it can take up to 20 minutes or more to regain full concentration after a significant interruption. The consequence of living in a state of perpetual partial attention is that we rarely achieve the state of deep work. Deep work, a term popularized by Cal Newport, refers to the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It is in this state that we produce our best work, solve complex problems, learn new skills quickly, and create significant value. Shallow work, on the other hand, includes non-cognitively demanding tasks often performed while distracted, like answering emails, scheduling meetings, or engaging in social media. Tasks that are necessary but don't require significant mental effort and are easy to replicate. The problem is that the modern environment is engineered to pull us towards shallow work and away from deep work. Notifications are designed to be addictive, triggering dopamine releases that make checking your phone a compulsive habit. Open office plans, instant messaging tools, and the expectation of immediate responsiveness all contribute to a culture of constant interruption. This makes cultivating focused attention a significant challenge, requiring deliberate effort and strategic countermeasures. This is precisely where the 5 a.m. habit offers a powerful advantage. The early morning hours are, by definition, less prone to external distractions. Most colleagues, clients, friends, and family are still asleep. Incoming emails and messages are minimal. The digital world is quieter. This creates a unique window where you have the opportunity to engage in deep work without the constant barrage of interruptions that plague the rest of the day. However, simply being awake at 5 a.m. isn't enough. You must actively protect this time from internal and self-imposed distractions. This means developing the discipline to resist checking your phone immediately upon waking, turning off notifications, closing unnecessary tabs on your computer, and creating a physical workspace that minimizes interruptions. The battle against distraction is not just external. It's also a battle against your own trained impulses to seek novelty and avoid the discomfort of sustained focus. By understanding the insidious nature of distraction and recognizing the value of uninterrupted attention, you can consciously design your 5 a.m. routine to prioritize deep work. This intentional allocation of your most focused hours to your most important tasks is a critical strategy for boosting productivity, achieving peak performance, and making tangible progress on your goals in a world that constantly tries to pull you away from what truly matters. The ability to focus deeply in an age of distraction is not just a skill, it's a superpower that the 5 a.m. habit helps you cultivate. Chapter 11. Cultivating Laser Focus. Practical Strategies for Deep Work at Dawn. Once you've established the 5 a.m. habit and claimed the quiet hours before the world awakens, the next critical step is maximizing this precious time by cultivating laser focus and engaging in deep work. This isn't about sitting down and hoping to be productive. It's about implementing specific, battle-tested strategies that train your brain to concentrate intensely and minimize distractions, ensuring that your early morning productivity is not just significant, but also of the highest quality. Engaging in deep work at 5 a.m. leverages the brain's natural state of alertness and reduced susceptibility to external stimuli. However, even in this ideal environment, maintaining intense focus requires conscious effort and a strategic approach. Here are practical strategies for cultivating laser focus during your 5 a.m. power hour. Time blocking. This is a fundamental time management technique for deep work. Instead of having a general to-do list, schedule specific blocks of time for specific tasks. At 5 a.m., your schedule might look like 5:15 a.m., hydration and movement, 5:15 a.m., deep work on MIT, 6:30 a.m., mindfulness and planning, By assigning specific non-negotiable time slots to your most important tasks, you create a structure that promotes focus and eliminates ambiguity. Treat these blocks like important appointments you cannot miss. Productivity tips. Single tasking. In an age of multitasking, focusing on one thing at a time is a radical act. During your deep work blocks, commit to working on only the designated task. Close all other tabs, put away other projects, and resist the urge to switch. This allows your brain to fully immerse itself in the task, leading to higher quality output and faster progress. Eliminate digital distractions. This is non-negotiable for deep work. Turn off notifications on your phone and computer. Close email and social media tabs. Use website or app blockers during your focus sessions. Put your phone on airplane mode or in a different room. The goal is to make it physically and psychologically difficult to get pulled away by digital stimuli. Create a focused environment. Optimize your physical workspace for concentration. Ensure it's tidy and free from clutter. Use noise-cancelling headphones if necessary. Signal to your brain that this space is for serious work. The environment acts as a cue for your desired behavior. Batch shallow work. Resist the urge to sprinkle shallow tasks, like checking email or responding to messages, throughout your deep work sessions. Instead, schedule dedicated blocks outside of your 5 a.m. deep work time for handling these less demanding activities. This protects your prime hours for cognitively demanding tasks. Manage internal distractions. Even without external cues, your mind can wander. Practices like mindfulness meditation, as discussed in Chapter 8, help train your ability to notice when your mind has strayed and gently bring it back to the task at hand. If a distracting thought arises, quickly jot it down on a separate notepad to address later, freeing your mind to return to the primary task. Utilize the Pomodoro technique or similar timers. Work in focused bursts, e.g., 25 minutes, followed by short breaks, e.g., 5 minutes. This structured approach can help maintain focus and prevent burnout during longer deep work sessions. During the breaks, step away from your workspace, stretch, or grab water before returning for the next focused interval. Start with your most difficult task. Often, the task you're most resistant to is the one that requires the most deep work and will yield the greatest results, your MIT. Tackle this task first in your 5 a.m. block when your willpower is strongest and your mind is clearest. Completing the hardest thing first builds significant momentum and reduces the mental load for the rest of the day. Cultivating laser focus is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. The more consistently you implement these strategies during your 5 a.m. hours, the better your brain becomes at entering and sustaining a state of deep work. This enhanced ability to concentrate intensely is a fundamental driver of peak performance and a key advantage gained by those who master their early mornings, allowing them to achieve more meaningful results in less time. Chapter 12. The Compound Effect. How small morning wins create massive life success. Success in any endeavor is rarely the result of a single monumental leap. More often, it's the accumulated outcome of countless small, seemingly insignificant actions repeated consistently over time. This powerful principle is known as the compound effect, and nowhere is its influence more evident than in the cumulative impact of embracing the 5 a.m. habit. Each early morning wake-up, each minute spent on focused work, personal development, or self-improvement, acts as a positive deposit in the bank of your future, compounding exponentially to create massive life success. Think about the difference between waking up at 5 a.m. and starting your day with intentional action versus hitting snooze until 7 a.m. and rushing through your morning. On any given day, the difference might seem marginal, an extra hour or two, But apply that difference consistently, day after day, week after week, year after year, and the gap in accomplishment, skill, knowledge, and well-being becomes staggering. Let's break down the compounding effects of the 5 a.m. habit. Compounding productivity. An extra hour or two of focused, distraction-free deep work each morning totals 5 to 10 extra hours per week, or 265-20 extra hours per year. Imagine what you could accomplish with an extra month of dedicated work time added to your year, free from interruptions. That novel gets written, that skill gets mastered, that side project launches, that fitness goal is achieved. This consistent application of focused energy to your most important priorities generates results that far outweigh the time invested. Compounding knowledge and skill. Dedicating just 30 minutes each morning to reading or learning a new skill seems minor daily, but over a year, that's 180+ hours of dedicated learning. This consistent input leads to deeper expertise, broader perspectives, and enhanced capabilities that differentiate you from those who aren't making that investment. Knowledge compounds like interest, opening doors to new opportunities and increased effectiveness. Compounding health and well-being. Using the 5 a.m. hour for exercise, healthy meal preparation, or mindfulness practices directly impacts your physical and mental health. Consistent physical activity improves energy, mood, and long-term health markers. Regular mindful practices reduce stress and improve resilience. These aren't one-off actions. They build a foundation of well-being that sustains high performance and quality of life over decades. Healthy habits. Compounding discipline and mindset. The act of consistently choosing discipline over comfort at 5 a.m. strengthens your willpower and reinforces an identity of capability and control. Each early rise is a small win that builds momentum and confidence. Over time, this compounds into an unbreakable self-discipline and a resilient success mindset that permeates all areas of your life, making it easier to stick to commitments and overcome challenges. Compounding momentum, starting your day with intention and accomplishment, completing your morning routine, tackling an MIT creates positive momentum. This feeling of being ahead and productive carries into the rest of your day, influencing subsequent choices and behaviors. This daily momentum stacks, creating an overall forward trajectory in life that feels effortless compared to the inertia of inconsistency. The danger of inconsistency, conversely, is also subject to the compound effect, but in reverse. Skipping one early morning might not seem like a big deal, but that missed day makes the next day harder. That leads to another missed day, and soon the old habit of sleeping in is back. Small negative choices, repeated, also compound, leading to stagnation or regression. The power of the compound effect highlights why consistency is more important than intensity. It's better to wake up at 5 a.m. imperfectly most days than to attempt extreme, unsustainable morning rituals that quickly lead to burnout. Focus on building the habit first, leveraging the psychology of the habit loop and the principles of neuroplasticity. Then watch as the small, consistent efforts you make in the quiet of dawn accumulate into significant, life-altering results over the months and years ahead. The 5 a.m. habit is not just a morning routine, it's a strategic investment in your future, leveraging the undeniable power of compounding action. Chapter 13, Fueling Your 5 a.m., Nutrition and Energy for Early Risers. Sustaining the energy and focus required for a productive 5 a.m. habit isn't solely about waking up. It's also about providing your body with the right fuel. The quality of your sleep, covered in the next chapter, is paramount. But what you eat and drink and when you consume it significantly impacts your energy levels, cognitive function, and ability to perform at your peak in the early morning and throughout the day. Optimizing your nutrition is a critical component of being a successful early riser and maintaining peak performance. Your body relies on a steady supply of glucose from carbohydrates, healthy fats, and protein to function efficiently. While some individuals practice intermittent fasting and delay their first meal, hydrating immediately upon waking is universally beneficial, as discussed in Chapter 7. Beyond that initial water, consider how nutrition impacts your morning energy. So, hydration is still key. Reiterate the importance of water. Many people reach for coffee immediately, but water is essential first. Adding electrolytes can be helpful, especially if you plan an intense workout. Timing of caffeine. For many, coffee is a non-negotiable part of the morning ritual. However, the timing of your first cup matters. Your body naturally produces cortisol, a wakefulness hormone which peaks about 60–90 minutes after waking. Drinking caffeine immediately might interfere with this natural process. Some experts recommend waiting 60–90 minutes after waking before having your first coffee to maximize both your natural alertness and the effects of caffeine. Find what works for you, but be mindful of crashing later if you rely solely on caffeine to wake up. Avoid caffeine entirely in the late afternoon and evening, as its effects can linger for hours and disrupt sleep. Stable blood sugar. To avoid energy crashes shortly after starting your day, focus on maintaining stable blood sugar levels. This means choosing complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, and protein for your first meal, if you eat breakfast, rather than sugary cereals or pastries that cause a rapid spike and subsequent crash. A balanced breakfast might include eggs and avocado, oatmeal with nuts and berries, or a protein smoothie. If you fast, ensure your first meal later in the day is similarly balanced. Nutrient density. Fuel your body with nutrient-dense foods that support sustained energy. Micronutrients like B vitamins, iron, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids play crucial roles in energy production, brain function, and mood regulation. Incorporating a variety of fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats into your overall diet provides the necessary building blocks for high energy levels. Avoid heavy meals before bed. Eating a large, heavy meal too close to bedtime can disrupt sleep quality as your body works to digest the food. Aim to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep to ensure your body is in a state conducive to rest, making the 5 a.m. wake-up feel less challenging. Listen to your body. While general guidelines exist, individual nutritional needs vary. Pay attention to how different foods and timings affect your energy and focus during your 5 a.m. block and throughout the morning. Experiment with when you eat your first meal, what types of foods you include, and how much caffeine you consume to find the optimal fueling strategy for your body. Optimizing your nutrition isn't about following a rigid diet. It's about making conscious choices that support your goal of sustained energy and focus during your early waking hours. By hydrating properly, managing caffeine intake strategically, stabilizing blood sugar, and focusing on nutrient-dense foods, you provide your body with the necessary resources to perform at its best, turning the 5 a.m. habit into a source of vibrant, lasting energy and enhanced early morning productivity. This is a fundamental healthy habit that fuels both your morning and your overall success. Chapter 14, The Science of Sleep, Mastering Rest for Sustainable 5 a.m. Success. Trying to force a 5 a.m. habit without prioritizing high-quality sleep is like trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand. It's unsustainable and ultimately counterproductive. While the cultural narrative often glorifies sacrificing sleep for success, the "I'll sleep when I'm dead" mentality, the science is unequivocally clear. Adequate, restorative sleep is not a luxury. It is a non-negotiable foundation for peak performance, cognitive function, emotional regulation, and long-term health. For the 5 a.m. habit to be sustainable and beneficial, it must be built upon a bedrock of mastered sleep. Sleep is not a passive state of unconsciousness. It is an incredibly active and complex process, vital for both physical and mental restoration. During sleep, your brain and body perform essential functions: memory, consolidation, processing and storing information learned. During the day, emotional regulation, helping the brain process emotional experiences and prepare for future ones. Physical repair, repairing tissues, building muscle, and synthesizing hormones crucial for growth and well-being. Waste removal. The brain has a unique cleansing system called the glymphatic system that is highly active during sleep, flushing out metabolic waste products. Immune function. Sleep is critical for a robust immune system. Sleep occurs in cycles, roughly 90 minutes long, alternating between non-REM and REM sleep, progressing from light sleep to deep sleep, and REM rapid eye movement sleep. Deep sleep is crucial for physical restoration and growth, while REM sleep is vital for cognitive functions like memory consolidation, learning, and creative problem-solving. Waking up during a deep sleep phase results in significant sleep inertia, that groggy, disoriented feeling. Waking up at the end of a cycle, ideally after a period of lighter or REM sleep, leads to feeling more refreshed. For consistent 5 a.m. waking to feel effortless, you need to ensure you get enough complete sleep. Cycles. While the commonly cited 8 hours is a good guideline, individual needs vary, and focusing on cycles is more precise. Waking up at 5 a.m. means you likely need to aim for a bedtime that allows for 7 to 9 hours of sleep, ideally lining up with the end of a 90-minute cycle. For a 5 a.m. wake-up, target bedtimes like 8 p.m., 9:30 p.m., or 11 p.m. Consistency in bedtime is almost as important as consistency in wake-up time for regulating your circadian rhythm. Mastering sleep for the 5 a.m. habit requires implementing excellent sleep hygiene practices. Consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, including weekends. This is arguably the single most important factor for regulating your circadian rhythm and making early waking feel natural. Optimize your sleep environment. Make your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep, cool, dark, and quiet. Blackout curtains, earplugs, or a white noise machine can help. The ideal temperature for sleep is often cited between 60–67 degrees Celsius, 15–19 degrees Celsius. Limit blue light exposure. Before bed, blue light from screens, phones, tablets, computers, TVs suppresses melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep. Avoid screens for at least 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. Overhaul. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. Signal to your body that it's time to wind down. This could include reading a physical book, taking a warm bath, listening to calming music, or doing gentle stretching. Avoid caffeine and alcohol close to bedtime. Caffeine is a stimulant that interferes with sleep cycles. Alcohol may initially make you feel sleepy, but it fragments sleep later in the night. Be mindful of food timing. Avoid heavy meals close to bedtime, but don't go to bed hungry. Limit naps or keep them short. Long or late-day naps can interfere with nighttime sleep. If you must nap, keep it to 20 to 30 minutes and avoid napping after 3 p.m. Prioritizing sleep is not a trade-off with your 5 a.m. habit. It is a prerequisite. By making sleep a non-negotiable component of your lifestyle and implementing sound sleep hygiene, You ensure that when your alarm rings at 5 a.m., you are genuinely rested, energized, and ready to harness the power of the morning for early morning productivity and sustained peak performance. This healthy habit makes early rising a source of vitality, not exhaustion. Chapter 15. Troubleshooting Common 5 a.m. Challenges. Navigating obstacles. Embarking on the 5 a.m. habit journey is not always a smooth ride. There will be days when the alarm feels particularly cruel, nights when sleep is elusive, or circumstances arise that threaten to derail your carefully constructed routine. Encountering challenges is normal. What determines long-term success is not the absence of setbacks, but your ability to anticipate, navigate, and recover from them. Troubleshooting common difficulties is an essential part of making early rising a sustainable practice. Wake up early tips, 5 a.m. challenge. Here are some frequent hurdles and strategies for overcoming them. Feeling exhausted, despite enough. Sleep. If you're getting 7 to 8 hours but still feel wiped out at 5 a.m., revisit your sleep quality. Chapter 14. Are you consuming caffeine or alcohol too late? Is your bedroom dark and cool? Are you getting evening blue light exposure? Chronic stress, nutritional deficiencies, or underlying health issues can also contribute. Ensure your sleep hygiene is dialed in and consider consulting a doctor if fatigue persists. Trouble falling asleep early enough. This is a common problem, especially for former night owls. Focus on your evening routine. Is it truly winding down? Avoid stimulating activities, screens, intense work, stressful conversations in the 1-2 hours before bed. Establish a consistent, relaxing pre-sleep ritual, reading, bath, stretching. Ensure morning light exposure is consistent, as this helps regulate the timing of your sleep drive later in the day. Melatonin supplements can be used short-term to help reset your clock, but consult a doctor first. Hitting the snooze button. Again, resistance is powerful, especially in the beginning. Revisit strategies from Chapter 5. Place the alarm across the room, implement the feet on the floor rule, and make your very first actions enjoyable and non-negotiable, e.g., immediately head to the coffee maker or put on workout clothes. Strengthen the cue routine reward loop. Remind yourself why you committed to 5 a.m. Reconnect with your motivation and goals. Late nights, due to social events or work. Life happens, and sometimes you'll have a late night. The key is not to let one late night derail your habit entirely. If you get significantly less sleep than planned, you have two main options. Power through, if possible. If it was just one night and you got at least 4 to 5 hours, sometimes it's better to wake up at 5 a.m. anyway, knowing you might be tired, but maintaining the routine consistency. Use strategic caffeine and prioritize rest the next night. Slightly adjust wake time. If you got very little sleep, 4 to 5 hours, it might be better to sleep slightly later, e.g. 5:30 a.m. or 6 a.m., to avoid being severely sleep-deprived. However, do not sleep in until your usual pre-5 a.m. time. Get up earlier than you want to, but slightly later than 5 a.m., and then get back on track the next day. The goal is flexibility without complete abandonment. Travel disruptions. Travel often throws schedules and sleep environments off. During travel, focus on maintaining your consistent wake-up time as much as possible, using light exposure strategically upon arrival to help reset your clock. More morning light for westward travel, less morning, more evening light for eastward travel. Re-establish your routine immediately upon returning home. Illness or burnout. If you are genuinely sick or experiencing signs of burnout, listen to your body. Allowing yourself extra rest when needed is crucial for recovery and long-term sustainability. Prioritize healing and then gently ease back into your 5 a.m. routine once you're feeling better. Pushing through severe illness or burnout can be counterproductive. Lack of motivation, purpose. If you find yourself consistently struggling because you lack the drive to get up, revisit your morning routine activities. Are they truly aligned with your goals and values? Is your why compelling enough? Reevaluate what you do in the 5 a.m. hour and ensure it's genuinely rewarding and contributing to something meaningful in your life. Connect the habit to your larger vision, morning motivation, goal setting. Navigating these challenges requires self-awareness, planning, and a resilient mindset. View setbacks as learning opportunities rather than failures. Each time you successfully troubleshoot and get back on track, you strengthen your self-discipline and reinforce the habit's sustainability. The journey to mastering 5 a.m. isn't about perfection. It's about persistent, adaptable effort in the face of inevitable obstacles. Chapter 16. The Weekend. Question: maintaining momentum without rigidity. One of the most significant challenges to sustaining the 5 a.m. habit long-term, and indeed any consistent routine, is the weekend. For many, Saturday and Sunday are days of stark contrast to the weekday structure. Times for sleeping in, relaxing schedules, and temporarily abandoning the disciplined habits cultivated during the week. While rest and flexibility are essential, completely abandoning the 5 a.m. wake-up on weekends can severely disrupt your circadian rhythm, making Monday mornings a brutal battle against social jet lag and undermining the momentum you've worked so hard to build. The key to successful weekends as an early riser is finding a balance between maintaining consistency and allowing for necessary rest and flexibility. It's not about being rigidly productive from 5 a.m. to noon on a Saturday, but about protecting the core habit and minimizing disruption to your body clock. Why is sleeping in late on weekends problematic for early rising? Your circadian rhythm, regulated by your SCN, Chapter 2, thrives on consistency. When you wake up at 5 a.m. from Monday to Friday, you train your clock to expect light and activity around that time. If you then sleep until 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday, you're effectively shifting your body clock forward by several hours. Come Monday morning, trying to wake up at 5 a.m. feels like traveling across time zones, leading to grogginess, reduced alertness, and increased difficulty in re-establishing the routine. This inconsistent schedule makes the 5 a.m. habit significantly harder to maintain long-term. Instead of viewing weekends as a reason to abandon your 5 a.m. habit, reframe them as an opportunity to leverage the early hours for different purposes or, with slight adjustments, strategies for mastering weekend mornings. Maintain a consistent wake-up time. Mostly, aim to wake up within an hour or at most 90 minutes of your weekday 5 a.m. wake-up time. If your weekday alarm is 5 a.m., target 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. on weekends. This minimizes the disruption to your circadian rhythm, while still allowing for a bit of extra rest if needed. Adjust the routine, not just the wake time. The goal isn't necessarily high productivity from 5 a.m. on weekends. Use the early hours for activities that are restorative or purely for enjoyment that you might not have time for during the week. This could be extended meditation or mindfulness practice, leisurely reading, fiction or non-fiction, a longer, relaxed walk or gentle yoga session, working on a personal hobby or passion project you enjoy, simply savoring a quiet cup of coffee or tea in peace. Make the weekend 5 a.m. experience different, but still intentional and valuable. Prioritize sleep hygiene on Friday, Saturday nights. Just as during the week, ensure you get sufficient, quality sleep leading up to your weekend 5 or 6 a.m. wake-up. Avoid excessively late nights, manage alcohol and caffeine, and maintain a relaxing pre-sleep routine. Plan your weekend mornings. Just like weekday mornings, Chapter 9, have a loose plan for your weekend early hours. Knowing what you'll do, when you get out of bed, makes it easier to resist the temptation to sleep in. This plan might be more flexible than your weekday one, but having some intention helps. Catch up on sleep strategically, if needed. If a truly unavoidable late night occurs, a short power nap, 20-30 minutes, earlier in the day, before 3 p.m., is generally better for mitigating sleep debt and maintaining your nighttime sleep quality than drastically oversleeping in the morning. Maintaining a consistent wake-up time, even with slight variations, on weekends reinforces the 5 a.m. habit and prevents the jarring misalignment of social jet lag come Monday. It allows you to carry forward the discipline, momentum and benefits of early rising into the new week without having to battle against a significantly shifted body clock. This flexible consistency makes the habit sustainable long-term and ensures that your weekend relaxation complements, rather than contradicts, your goal of being a disciplined, successful early riser. It's about making the daily routine work for your life, 7 days a week. Chapter 17. Building your 5 a.m. tribe. The power of accountability and community. While the act of waking up at 5 a.m. is a personal choice and a solitary pursuit in the quiet hours, the journey of building and sustaining the 5 a.m. habit doesn't have to be undertaken alone. Human beings are inherently social creatures, and leveraging the power of accountability and community can be a significant accelerator and anchor in solidifying challenging habits. Building your 5 a.m. tribe can provide the external support, shared motivation, and sense of connection needed to persevere through resistance and make the habit truly stick. Why is accountability so powerful? When we make commitments to others, especially people we respect or feel connected to, we are often more likely to follow through than when we make commitments solely to ourselves. The fear of letting someone else down, combined with the positive reinforcement of shared progress and mutual encouragement, creates a potent psychological leverage that can be invaluable when your internal motivation wanes. Finding or creating. Your 5 a.m. tribe can take various forms. Accountability partner. Find one person who is also committed to waking up early or building a similar habit. Check in with each other daily or a few times a week. A simple text message upon waking, 5 a.m., or a brief conversation about your morning routine can provide that external push and validation. Choose someone reliable and genuinely committed to their own goals. Small group or mastermind. Form or join a small group of individuals with similar aspirations. This could be a virtual group that checks in daily, a weekly call to share progress and challenges, or even meeting for an early morning workout or coffee once a week. A small group provides diverse perspectives, collective brainstorming for troubleshooting, and a stronger sense of belonging. Online communities. There are numerous online forums, social media groups, and apps dedicated to early risers, productivity, and habit formation, like the 5 a.m. Club groups inspired by Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. Club. While less personal than a one-on-one partner, these provide a broad network of support, inspiration, and shared experience. Seeing others successfully maintaining the habit can be highly motivating. Public commitment. Announcing your intention to wake up at 5 a.m. to friends, family, or on social media can create a form of public accountability. Knowing that others are aware of your goal can increase your internal pressure to follow through. Mentorship. While not solely focused on the 5 a.m. habit, having a mentor who embodies the kind of discipline and success you aspire to can provide invaluable guidance, inspiration, and informal accountability. Beyond simply reporting your wake-up time, a supportive tribe offers several benefits. Shared experience. You can discuss common challenges, like hitting snooze or late nights, with people who understand exactly what you're going through. Troubleshooting. Others in the group may have solutions to problems you're facing. Inspiration, hearing about others' successes and progress provides powerful morning motivation. Positive reinforcement, celebrating each other's wins, no matter how small, strengthens the positive associations with the habit. Sense of belonging, knowing you're part of a group working towards similar goals, combats feelings of isolation that can arise when trying to build a difficult new habit. While the solitude of the 5 a.m. hour is one of its key benefits, the journey to making it a permanent lifestyle change is often easier and more sustainable with the support of others. Building your 5 a.m. tribe injects external accountability and shared motivation into the process, transforming a potentially lonely struggle into a collective pursuit of discipline, growth, and ultimately, life transformation. Don't underestimate the quiet power of knowing others are rising with you. Chapter 18, The 5 a.m. Mindset, Embracing Discipline, Not Just Fleeting Motivation. One of the most profound shifts required to sustain the 5 a.m. habit and achieve lasting success is moving beyond reliance on motivation and fully embracing discipline. Motivation is an emotional state. It is fleeting, unreliable, and dependent on mood, energy levels, and external circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is a conscious choice, a commitment to act regardless of how you feel. It is the bridge between setting a goal, like waking up at 5 a.m., and actually achieving it consistently. Cultivating a 5 a.m. mindset means internalizing the understanding that discipline, not motivation, is the true driver of progress. Motivation often provides the initial spark. It gets you excited about the idea of waking up early, being productive, and transforming your life. You feel a surge of energy, you buy a new alarm clock, and you might even nail the first few days. But inevitably, there will be mornings when the excitement has worn off. It's cold outside, you're tired, and the initial rush of novelty is gone. If you rely solely on motivation during these moments, you will hit snooze because motivation is absent. Discipline, however, is the commitment you make to yourself when motivation is gone. It's the agreement that you will follow through on your planned action, getting out of bed at 5 a.m., because you decided to, not because you feel like it. It's the ability to override the immediate desire for comfort in favor of the long-term gain of progress and self-mastery. This is the core of self-discipline. The 5 a.m. habit is a powerful training ground for this mindset shift. Each morning, you are presented with a clear choice: immediate comfort, snoozing, or disciplined action, getting up. By consistently choosing the latter, you are not just building a habit, you are strengthening your self-discipline muscle. You are proving to yourself over and over that you have the capacity to act intentionally, even when it's difficult. This daily practice rewires your brain, as discussed in Chapter 3. It shifts your identity from someone who wants to wake up early when they feel motivated to someone who is an early riser, period. This identity-based approach to discipline is significantly more powerful than outcome-based motivation. When waking up at 5 a.m. becomes part of who you are, the internal resistance diminishes and the need for willpower decreases. You don't debate whether to get up, you just do, because that's what early risers do. This is the foundation of a resilient success mindset. Cultivating the 5 a.m. mindset involves understanding the nature of motivation. Recognize that it's temporary. Appreciate it when it's present, but don't depend on it. Prioritizing. Discipline. Make the decision to act based on your goals and values, not your transient feelings. Commitment is key. Focusing on small actions. Discipline isn't about heroic efforts. It's about consistently taking the small necessary steps, getting out of bed, drinking water, starting your routine. Embracing discomfort. Accept that growth often happens outside your comfort zone. The initial discomfort of waking up early is temporary. The benefits of discipline are lasting. Lean into it rather than shrinking away. Building systems, not just relying on willpower. Design your environment and routine, Chapter 6 and 7, to make the disciplined action the easiest choice. Reduce friction for positive habits. Reinforcing your identity. Actively identify as an early riser, a disciplined person, someone committed to their goals. Each successful morning reinforces this identity. The 5 a.m. habit, consistently applied, cultivates an unbreakable self-discipline. It teaches you that you are capable of more than you think, and that consistent, deliberate action, even when unglamorous or challenging, is the true path to achievement. This mindset shift from fleeting motivation to unwavering discipline is, perhaps, the most valuable long-term outcome of embracing the early morning. It's the development of a core inner strength that serves you not just at 5 a.m., but in every challenge and opportunity life presents, driving continuous personal development and success. Chapter 19, From 5 a.m. to Peak Performance. Integrating morning momentum into your day. The benefits of mastering the 5 a.m. habit extend far beyond the early hours. A well-executed morning routine doesn't just make your first hour productive, it creates a powerful psychological and physiological momentum that propels you towards peak performance throughout the entire day. This integration of early morning energy, clarity, and discipline into the rest of your schedule is where the true transformative power of the 5 a.m. start is fully realized. Think of your 5 a.m. routine as the engine ignition and the initial push down the runway. It builds speed and direction. If that launch is successful, if you hydrate, move, prime your mind, set your intentions, and engage in deep work, you begin the core part of your day with significant advantages that compound hour after hour. How? The morning momentum carries through. Sustained energy. By aligning with your circadian rhythm, hydrating, moving, and potentially fueling properly early on, you set yourself up for more stable energy levels throughout the day, reducing the likelihood of midday crashes. The proactive activation in the morning prepares your body to remain alert and engaged. Enhanced focus and cognitive function. The deep work and mental priming you undertake at 5 a.m. sharpen your ability to concentrate. By tackling your most cognitively demanding tasks during your peak mental hours, you achieve higher quality output and train your brain for sustained focus later. You carry this focused capability into subsequent tasks. Reduced stress and reactivity. Starting the day centered with mindfulness and planned priorities reduces the likelihood of feeling overwhelmed or immediately reactive to external demands. You've already grounded yourself and defined your key objectives, making it easier to handle interruptions and challenges with calm and clarity. Increased confidence and self-efficacy. Beginning your day with accomplished tasks, especially challenging ones tackled during deep work at 5 a.m., builds significant confidence. You start the day knowing you've already achieved something meaningful. This sense of accomplishment fuels belief in your ability to handle whatever comes next, boosting motivation and resilience. Improved time management and prioritization. Your morning planning session ensures that your energy and focus throughout the day are directed towards what matters most. You're less likely to get sidetracked by trivialities because you have a clear roadmap and have already invested time in your high-priority tasks. This translates to more effective use of your time overall. Stronger self-discipline. The discipline required to wake up at 5 a.m. reinforces your ability to make conscious choices aligned with your goals, even when it's difficult. This strength carries over into resisting distractions, sticking to other healthy habits like diet and exercise, and making disciplined decisions throughout your day. To maximize this momentum, Be mindful of how you transition from your 5 a.m. routine into the main part of your day. Avoid immediately diving into email or social media the moment your dedicated morning time is over. This can quickly kill the focus and peace you've cultivated. Instead, transition mindfully. Review your plan for the next block of time. Take a quick break and then move into your next scheduled activity, ideally another focused task or meeting with clear objectives. Structure your day to leverage the momentum. Schedule your most important meetings or tasks that require sharp thinking for the late morning when the momentum from your 5 a.m. start is still strong. Use your later afternoon for less demanding, shallow work tasks. The integration of your 5 a.m. momentum into your entire day transforms your approach from a passive, reactive state to an active, intentional one. You're not just squeezing in an extra hour, you are fundamentally shifting the quality and direction of your entire day. This is the power of building a successful morning routine. It doesn't just change how your day starts, it changes how your day unfolds, allowing you to operate consistently at a higher level of effectiveness and achieve your goals with greater ease and impact. This is a cornerstone of life transformation driven by deliberate daily habits. Chapter 20. The 5 a.m. Club, Real Stories of Transformation. The power of the 5 a.m. habit isn't just theoretical. It's proven by the countless individuals across history and in the modern world who have leveraged the early hours to achieve extraordinary things. While attributing success solely to a wake-up time is an oversimplification, the discipline, focus, and intentionality cultivated by rising at 5 a.m. are undeniably common threads among high achievers. Hearing real stories of transformation provides powerful morning motivation and tangible proof of what's possible when you join the ranks of the 5 a.m. Club. These stories aren't just about corporate titans. They span diverse fields, demonstrating that the benefits of early rising are universally applicable to anyone committed to personal development and excellence. Consider the anecdotal evidence from various domains. Business leaders. We've already touched on figures like Tim Cook, who starts his day before 4 a.m. Other well-known executives, while varying slightly in exact times, often report waking before 6 a.m. to get a head start, plan their day, or engage in personal habits before the business world demands their attention. This allows them to be proactive decision-makers rather than constantly reacting to incoming issues. Athletes. Elite athletes, from swimmers and runners to basketball players and weightlifters, frequently train in the early morning. This isn't just for scheduling convenience. It often leverages natural energy patterns and provides uninterrupted time for crucial physical and mental preparation before the demands of training, recovery, and public appearances begin. Their discipline in rising for rigorous training is a direct application of the 5 a.m. mindset. Writers and artists. Many prolific writers and artists swear by early morning creative sessions. Authors like Toni Morrison and Haruki Murakami have spoken about the quiet, focused hours before dawn being their most productive time for writing. The absence of distraction allows them to access deeper creative flows and produce high-quality work before the noise of the day breaks their concentration. Scientists and thinkers. Many groundbreaking discoveries and intellectual breakthroughs have occurred during periods of focused, solitary work. The early morning provides the ideal environment for the sustained concentration required for complex problem-solving and theoretical thinking, free from the interruptions of collaborative work hours. Everyday achievers. Beyond the famous names, there are countless individuals in every profession: teachers, doctors, entrepreneurs, parents, students, who use the 5 a.m. habit to achieve their goals, manage busy lives, learn new skills, improve their health, or simply create a pocket of peace in their day. Their stories, though less publicized, are equally inspiring. The person who learned a new language, started a side hustle, completed a marathon, or finally wrote that book, all fueled by the disciplined use of the early morning hours. Popularity of resources like Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. Club stems from the resonant truth in these stories. Sharma's work emphasizes that the early morning is not just about productivity, but about cultivating self-discipline, mindset, and the victory hour for personal growth before engaging with the external world. His framework provides structure and philosophy to the habit, making it more accessible and sustainable for a wider audience. What unites these varied success stories is not a magical predisposition to early rising, but a conscious decision to claim the quiet morning hours and use them strategically. They leverage the benefits of reduced distraction, peak cognitive function, and boosted discipline to invest in themselves and their most important work before the rest of the world catches up. Their transformations serve as powerful reminders that the path to achieving significant goals is paved with consistent, disciplined action, starting with the simplest yet most profound daily choice: to rise at 5 a.m. and intentionally shape the day ahead. These stories offer tangible proof that life transformation is possible, one purposeful morning at a time. Chapter 21. Customizing your 5 a.m., finding what works for you. While the core principles of the 5 a.m. habit, early rising, leveraging the quiet, cultivating discipline, are universal, the specific execution of a morning routine must be deeply personal development focused and tailored to your individual needs, goals, and preferences. There is no one-size-fits-all 5 a.m. routine dictated by the masters. Rather, the most successful morning routines are those that are designed to optimize your unique energy levels, align with your priorities, and genuinely support your journey towards self-improvement and success. Trying to force yourself into someone else's rigid structure is a recipe for burnout and eventual abandonment. The goal isn't to copy someone else's list of activities hour by hour. It's to understand the underlying purpose of the early morning, not to gain control, reduce distraction, and invest in high-leverage activities, and then choose activities that fulfill that purpose for you. Your ideal 5 a.m. routine should feel energizing and purposeful, not like a chore list borrowed from a guru. To customize your 5 a.m. routine effectively, define your why. Be crystal clear on why you want to wake up at 5 a.m. What specific goals are you trying to achieve? More focus on a creative project, consistent exercise, dedicated learning time, planning your day, reducing stress. Your why will dictate what activities should fill your early hours. Without a compelling reason, the comfort of the bed will always win. Experiment and iterate. Your first attempt at a 5 a.m. routine probably won't be perfect. Be willing to experiment with different activities and sequences. Try meditation 1 week, journaling the next. Experiment with starting with movement versus starting with quiet work. Pay attention to how each activity makes you feel and how it impacts the rest of your day. Continuously refine your routine based on what provides the most energy, focus, and progress towards your goals. Align activities with your energy peak. While the 5 a.m. hour is generally good for focus, specific types of tasks might be better suited to slightly different energy levels. Some people feel most creative immediately upon waking. Others need movement first. Some prefer quiet, reflective work, like planning or journaling, in the first minutes, saving more demanding tasks, like complex writing or analysis, for slightly later in the morning after their brain is fully warmed up. Design your sequence to match your natural flow. Consider your lifestyle and responsibilities. Your routine needs to fit within the realities of your life. Do you have young children who might wake up early? Does your partner's schedule impact your mornings? Are there specific demands from your work that need early attention, though try to push reactive work after your core productive block? Be realistic about what's feasible and build a routine that is sustainable within your context. Start small and build. Don't try to implement a packed 90-minute routine on day one. Start with just getting up consistently and doing 1 or 2 core activities for 30-45 minutes. As the habit solidifies and you experience the benefits, you can gradually add more elements or extend the duration. Building momentum through small wins is key to consistency. Flexibility within structure, while consistency is crucial, Chapter 16, a certain degree of flexibility is necessary for long-term sustainability. Have a core set of non-negotiable activities, but allow for slight variations based on how you feel or unexpected circumstances. For instance, if you're slightly short on sleep, you might do a shorter version of your exercise or meditation. The core time block, 5 a.m. to X, and the intention to use it for self-improvement and focused work are more important than rigidly following the exact same minute-by-minute schedule every single day. Your customized 5 a.m. routine should be a reflection of your aspirations and a tool for achieving them. It's your dedicated time to nurture your mind, body, and spirit, plan your success, and engage in the work that truly matters to you. By experimenting, listening to your body, and aligning your activities with your personal why, you can design a morning routine inspiration that isn't just effective, but also deeply fulfilling, ensuring that the 5 a.m. habit becomes a joyful and integral part of your journey towards life transformation. Chapter 22, Beyond Productivity, the Joy and Peace of Early Mornings. While much emphasis is placed on the productivity benefits of the 5 a.m. habit, the enhanced focus, the extra work time, the head start on goals, the true value of waking up before dawn extends far beyond mere output. For many who consistently embrace early rising, the most cherished rewards are the intangible gifts of peace, solitude, clarity, and a profound sense of calm that are virtually impossible to find in the bustling hours that follow. The 5 a.m. hour offers a sanctuary for the soul, a time for quiet contemplation and connection with oneself, free from the external noise and demands of the world. In our hyper-connected, always-on society, finding genuine moments of solitude and quiet reflection is increasingly rare. Our days are often fragmented by interruptions, scheduled down to the minute and filled with the constant hum of digital communication. This relentless pace can lead to stress, burnout, and a feeling of being disconnected from our inner selves. The 5 a.m. hour provides a powerful antidote to this modern malaise. As the world sleeps, there is a profound stillness in the air. The streets are empty, the inbox is quiet, and the relentless ping of notifications is absent. This silence is not just the absence of noise. It's an invitation to presence, a space where you can simply be without feeling the pressure to do. This peaceful solitude offers several non-productivity benefits: mental clarity and reflection. The quiet allows for clear thinking and introspection. Without distractions, you can process thoughts, gain perspective on challenges, and connect with your values and priorities in a way that is difficult later in the day. This is the perfect time for journaling, meditation, or simply sitting with your thoughts. Reduced stress and anxiety. Starting the day calmly and intentionally rather than in a rush dramatically reduces morning stress. Knowing you have dedicated time for yourself before the day's demands begin creates a sense of control and reduces anxiety about potential challenges. The peace of the early morning sets a calm tone that can resonate throughout the day. Enhanced creativity. The relaxed state of mind fostered by early morning peace can be a powerful catalyst for creativity. The absence of pressure and the opportunity for free thinking allow ideas to flow more easily. Many creatives find their most insightful moments occur in the quiet hours before dawn. Connection with self. In the quiet of 5 a.m., you have the opportunity to connect with yourself on a deeper level. Free from the roles you play for others, you can listen to your own needs, desires, and intuition. This time for self-awareness is crucial for personal development and well-being. Appreciation and gratitude. The calm of the early morning provides a perfect backdrop for practicing gratitude. Taking a few moments to appreciate the quiet, the sunrise, if visible, your health, or the simple comforts of your life can profoundly shift your perspective towards positivity and contentment. A sense of sacred time. For many, the 5 a.m. hour becomes a sacred ritual, a non-negotiable time dedicated solely to their inner world and highest priorities. This sense of sacredness infuses the morning with meaning and makes the commitment to wake up deeply fulfilling, beyond just checking off tasks. While early morning productivity is a major draw, the enduring appeal of the 5 a.m. habit often lies in these quieter, less tangible rewards. The peace and solitude cultivated before dawn nourish the soul, reduce stress, and provide a crucial counterbalance to the busyness of modern life. Incorporating activities focused on well-being, reflection, and connection into your morning routine ensures that your early start isn't just about doing more, but about being more present, more grounded, and more at peace. This is where the habit transcends mere productivity and becomes a path to a richer, more fulfilled life. Chapter 23. The Long Game. Sustaining the 5 a.m. habit for life. Mastering. The 5 a.m. habit is not a sprint, it's a marathon. The true power and transformative potential of early rising are realized not in the first few weeks, but in the consistent application of this discipline over months, years, and decades. Sustaining the habit for life requires moving beyond the initial motivation or challenge phase and integrating it so deeply into your identity and lifestyle that it becomes an effortless, non-negotiable part of who you are. Playing the long game is the key to unlocking the cumulative benefits of this powerful practice: long-term habits, consistency, success habits. The journey to lifelong 5 a.m. adherence involves several stages. Initially, it requires significant willpower and conscious effort as you battle resistance and establish the new neural pathways, Chapter 3 and 5. As the habit loop strengthens, Chapter 4, it becomes more automatic, requiring less energy. But maintaining it requires more than just automation. It demands intentional strategies for long-term sustainability and adaptation. Key elements for sustaining the 5 a.m. habit for life. Identity reinforcement. Continuously reinforce your identity as an early riser. Speak of yourself as someone who naturally wakes up at 5 a.m. This internal narrative is incredibly powerful in making the habit feel authentic and non-negotiable. The more you see yourself as someone who rises early, the easier it becomes to act in alignment with that identity. Adaptability, not rigidity. Life circumstances change. Work schedules, family needs, health issues, and travel will inevitably disrupt your routine. A rigid habit breaks easily. A sustainable habit is adaptable. Have a core set of non-negotiables, e.g. wake time, plus 60 to 90 mins, hydrate, some form of mindful moment or planning. But be willing to adjust the specific activities in your morning routine based on your life phase, energy levels, or travel. Schedule. The core commitment to the early start and intentional use of the time remains, even if the exact sequence changes. Scheduled review and refinement. Don't set your routine once and forget it. Periodically review how your 5 a.m. hours are serving you. Are the activities still aligned with your current goals? Are they still providing energy and focus? Is your sleep quality consistent? Schedule quarterly or annual check-ins to assess your habit and make necessary adjustments. This ensures your 5 a.m. time remains a powerful tool for your evolving life. Listen to your body. While discipline is key, ignoring genuine signs of burnout or illness is counterproductive. Learn to distinguish between resistance, excuses, and genuine need for rest. Prioritize recovery when needed, and then get back on track as soon as possible. Building a lifelong habit means respecting your body's signals while not being ruled by temporary discomforts. Maintain your support system. Continue to leverage accountability partners or communities. Chapter 17. Having others who understand and support your habit provides encouragement and prevents isolation, which can chip away at long-term commitment. Focus on the compounding benefits. Regularly remind yourself of the cumulative impact of your consistent effort. Chapter 12. Reflect on how the habit has positively impacted your productivity, health, mindset, and progress towards your goals. Seeing and appreciating the long-term results fuels your motivation to continue. Embrace the joy. Chapter 22. Don't let the habit become a joyless grind focused solely on productivity. Continuously connect with and appreciate the peace, solitude, and intrinsic rewards of the early morning. Cultivating gratitude for this time makes the habit inherently more fulfilling and thus easier to maintain. Sustaining the 5 a.m. habit for life transforms it from a practice into a cornerstone of your existence. It becomes a reliable anchor in the unpredictability of life, a source of consistent discipline and a powerful engine for continuous personal development and achievement. It's the ultimate long game in self-improvement, demonstrating that mastery is the result of persistent, intentional effort, applied one dawn at a time, creating a legacy of purpose and accomplishment that unfolds over a lifetime. This is where the 5 a.m. habit becomes a part of your permanent story, a testament to the power of dedicated routine and the remarkable capacity for transformation. Chapter 24. The Ripple Effect. 5 a.m.'s impact on career, relationships, health, and beyond. The 5 a.m. habit is far more than just a personal productivity hack. It is a catalyst for positive change that creates a powerful ripple effect, impacting every major area of your life, your career, your relationships, your health, and your overall sense of fulfillment. By mastering your mornings, you generate momentum and cultivate qualities that inevitably spill over, enhancing the quality and trajectory of your entire existence. Life transformation. Consider the impact across different domains. Career and professional life. Increased productivity. Tackling key tasks during peak focus hours leads to higher quality work and greater output. Early morning productivity. Enhanced strategic thinking. The quiet, uncluttered mind of the early morning is ideal for planning, problem-solving, and creative thinking that drives career advancement. Improved time management. Consistently planning your day and prioritizing tasks at 5 a.m. translates into better time utilization and reduced urgency throughout the workday. Stronger self-discipline. The discipline cultivated in waking early directly applies to meeting deadlines, staying focused on projects, and pursuing professional goals with greater tenacity. Leadership, by example, embodying discipline and proactive. Habits can inspire colleagues and subordinates, fostering a more focused and productive team environment. Health and well-being. Consistent exercise. Waking early often provides the most feasible time for consistent physical activity, leading to improved fitness, energy levels, and mental health. Healthy habits. Better nutritional choices. Having Time in the morning allows for preparing healthier meals or smoothies, avoiding the rushed, less healthy options often grabbed when running late. Reduced stress. Starting the day calmly with mindfulness and intentionality significantly lowers overall stress levels compared to rushing or reacting to immediate demands. Improved sleep quality. Maintaining a consistent early wake-up time when coupled with proper sleep hygiene strengthens your circadian rhythm, leading to deeper, more restorative sleep. Relationships. More present interactions by front-loading personal growth and productive work into the early hours. You can transition into family or social time later, feeling less stressed, less rushed, and more fully present for meaningful connection. Setting a positive example. Your discipline and dedication can serve as inspiration for family members or loved ones, fostering a culture of intentionality and personal growth within your household. Creating quiet family time. Some early risers use a portion of their morning to share a quiet breakfast or conversation with family members who are also awake, creating quality connection before the day's busyness separates everyone. Personal growth and fulfillment. Consistent self-improvement. Dedicated time for learning, reading, or practicing a skill compounds knowledge and expertise over time. Personal development. Enhanced mindset. Regularly engaging in mindfulness, gratitude, and visualization at 5 a.m. cultivates a more positive, resilient, and growth-oriented perspective. Growth mindset, success mindset. Greater sense of control. Taking charge of your mornings empowers you, fostering a sense of agency and confidence that you can intentionally shape your life. Increased fulfillment. By consistently investing in your values and pursuing meaningful goals, you build a life aligned with your purpose, leading to deeper satisfaction. The initial decision to wake up at 5 a.m. might seem like a small, isolated change. But as the discipline takes root, the morning routine becomes a powerful engine that generates positive momentum across every facet of your life. The habits you cultivate in the quiet of dawn don't stay contained there. They ripple outwards, transforming your capacity for achievement, improving your well-being, strengthening your connections, and ultimately shaping a future that is more aligned with your highest potential. The 5 a.m. habit is not just about starting your day early. It's about fundamentally elevating the quality of your entire life. Chapter 25. Your future is waiting. Will you rise to meet it? As we reach the culmination of this journey through the science, psychology, and practical application of the 5 a.m. habit, one central truth remains. Your future is not a predetermined destination. It is built intentionally, one day at a time. The opportunity to shape that future is presented to you every single morning, in the quiet moments before the world fully awakens. The question is simple, yet profound. Will you rise to meet it? Audiobook motivational. We've explored the undeniable advantages of reclaiming the dawn, the scientific backing for early morning productivity and peak performance, the psychological power of habit formation and overcoming resistance, the critical role of sleep and nutrition, the strategic benefit of planning and deep work, and the expansive ripple effect across career, health, and relationships. We've seen how the 5 a.m. habit is not about inherent talent or luck, but about cultivating self-discipline, forging a resilient mindset, and leveraging the compound effect of small, consistent actions. The 5 a.m. habit is more than just a routine. It is a philosophy of intentional living. It is a daily declaration that you are committed to growth, that you prioritize purpose over comfort, and that you believe in your capacity to shape your reality. It is about stepping out of reactive mode and into proactive creation, becoming the architect of your days rather than simply a passenger. The path will not always be easy. There will be mornings when the bed feels like an insurmountable fortress, days when motivation is scarce, and moments when old habits call to you. This is not a sign of failure. It is simply part of the process of transformation. Remember the power of neuroplasticity. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen the neural pathways for success. Remember the habit loop. Design your cues and rewards to make the desired behavior automatic. Remember the compound effect. Your small, consistent actions are building something massive over time. Joining the 5 a.m. club is not about joining an elite group. It's about joining the ranks of those who understand the profound power of intentional mornings. It's about recognizing that the first hour of your day is not just an hour. It is a foundational opportunity to set the tone, build momentum, and invest in the person you are becoming and the life you are creating. Your future is waiting. It is filled with the potential for greater productivity, deeper focus, enhanced well-being, and the achievement of your most ambitious goals. But this future is not delivered to your doorstep. It must be actively pursued, cultivated, and earned. Through deliberate daily action, the knowledge, strategies, and insights contained within this audiobook are your blueprint. You have the understanding of the science, the psychology, and the practical steps required. The only missing piece is your unwavering commitment. Will you answer the call of the 5 a.m. alarm? Will you embrace the quiet solitude and leverage it for growth? Will you push past the resistance and choose discipline over comfort? Will you become the kind of person who intentionally shapes their days, building momentum that carries them towards an extraordinary life? The revolution starts now. It starts with you making a conscious decision to rise. Rise with purpose. Rise with discipline. Rise to meet the incredible potential that resides within you. Your future is waiting. Rise and build it. Conclusion: the dawn of your new reality. As the final words of this book settle into the quiet space of your mind, remember that the journey we've explored together isn't just about a specific time on the clock. The 5 a.m. habit is a doorway, an invitation to reclaim your mornings, master your discipline, and fundamentally reshape the trajectory of your life. We've delved into the science of why it works, the psychology of how to make it stick, and the undeniable power of compounding small, consistent actions into extraordinary results. You now understand that success isn't a matter of luck or elusive talent. It's a product of intentionality, built brick by brick in the quiet solitude before the world awakens. You have the blueprint. From aligning your circadian rhythm and cultivating laser focus through deep work, to designing a powerful morning routine and overcoming the inevitable resistance that stands in your way. You know that the peace, clarity, and momentum generated at 5 a.m. don't just benefit the first hour, they create a powerful ripple effect that elevates your career, strengthens your relationships, fuels your health, and deepens your sense of fulfillment. The 5 a.m. habit. How successful people start their day, written by Peter A. Saul and published by Audiobooks LOA. The stories of countless successful individuals serve as proof, not that they possess some innate ability, but that they made a conscious choice to leverage the dawn and stick with it day after day. And you now possess the tools and the understanding to join their ranks, to build your own legacy of discipline and achievement. The decision you make now, in this moment, is the most crucial. Will you let the comfort of the old routine keep you tethered to mediocrity, or will you answer the call to rise, to take control, and to build the future you were meant to create? The dawn is waiting, silent and full of potential. This audiobook has been designed as your guide, your companion on this transformative path. It's a resource to return to reinforce your commitment, and to remind you of the power you hold within you. If the insights shared in this book have resonated with you, if they've sparked a fire or provided the clarity you needed to embark on this journey, I invite you to take another powerful step. Your engagement helps spread these principles to others who are also seeking to unlock their potential. If you found value in this audiobook, please show your support right here on the channel. Like this audiobook to let us know it resonated. Comment below and share your biggest takeaway, your first step towards the 5 a.m. habit, or a challenge you're working to overcome. Connecting with this community can be incredibly motivating. Share this audiobook with someone you believe would benefit from mastering their mornings and transforming their life. And finally, if you are committed to continuous personal development, to exploring powerful ideas for self-improvement, and to surrounding yourself with motivational content that helps you build successful habits and cultivate a winning mindset, be sure to subscribe to the Insert Audiobook channel name, e.g. Success Habits Audio Channel. Join our community of dedicated individuals who are actively working to shape their best lives, one powerful habit at a time. Your future is waiting. Thank you for rising to meet the dawn. The 5 a.m. Habit, How Successful People Start Their Day, written by Peter A. Saul and published by Audiobooks LOA.